Alright guys, now I want to go over your American kettlebell swing. So kind of when you see standard kettlebell swing in what used to be CrossFit workouts, right, so going all the way overhead. So instead of stopping it at the shoulder height, we're going all the way overhead. Right, but other than the different endpoint, right, mechanics, technical points of performance still stay the same. It's still a hinge from the hips, right? We're still staying feet rooted into the floor. No double knee bend, right? Just using the hips. Just requires a little bit more power to send the weight all the way up overhead, right? So ideally, we want to see the athlete be able to get their hands all the way overhead, right? You can assess with the press, right? If athletes are unable to demonstrate full range of motion, they're not going to get there in a swing, or if they do, right, they'll compensate through a number of different ways. So first we want to see is competence with a swing of good hip hinge, right, showing enough stability to hold that weight in place, right, getting the timing down, make sure they're staying through the floor, and then maybe you can consider going into an American swing. Love the American swing, nothing wrong with it, just like any exercise, just make sure you're ready for it. So the setup is the same, so I'll demonstrate a few, same thing, I'm standing behind my bell, right. Some athletes will need to do a few swings to kind of get the weight, hips warmed up, eventually going overhead, right? If you're strong enough, pick a reasonable weight, right? You sit back, gorilla stance, right? Full angle the bell, shoulders back, right? Big throw. So I'm going to do 5 swings. 2, 3. So staying tight. And once you're done, ends the same way. So nothing really changed there, right? So I'm still using my hips, weight shooting the bell up, weight's going overhead, right? As I'm overhead in this position, glutes are on, ribs stay down, so core is braced, right? Shoulders aren't shrugged, shoulders are down, right? So ending at a nice neutral position, then you just gotta wait, right? So it comes all the way down, bang, sit your butt back, and go into your next swing. So you're under more tension, so it's more time under tension, more time under load, which leads to greater fatigue, greater range of motion, right, more tiring. So that's why it's a great metabolic demand. If an athlete, again, doesn't have that overhead position, right, and you see that they're not able to do it, right, then maybe address some mobility, address some strength issues in this end range before you start prescribing, right, going all the way overhead with your swings. So a few things to note. Sometimes you can't just go straight to overhead. That's totally fine. Do a few swings, warm it up, 2, 3, right? And it's just more power required from your hips. So that's really the only thing that changes, right? Just how much strength you have in your hips. Whatever you can swing comfortably for a Russian kettlebell swing for 10 reps, divide that in half, divide the weight in half, and start with that. Something light that you know you can control. So one good way, good scaling option or it's literally a scale to know and practice whether or not you have that power, is doing a scale of swing. So let's call, right, ending the bell right here is a 1, here's a 3, 5 right here, 8 right here, and then 10 is overhead, right? So it's just different amounts of power, and learning how to control that, how much pop you put into your swing, right? So I'll just go up the ladder, right, going to 3, 4, here's a 5, right, 8, and then 10, all the way. Then going back to a 5, or you can go to a 3, right, 8, 10. Right, so you can play around, make sure you can control all those ranges of motion, right? Make sure that you have the timing down so you sit your butt back. That's the main thing that you want to concern yourself with. So we want to see the proficiency in a Russian swing, showing that they have enough stability, right, enough control to move that weight under load. Right, we want to make sure that they have enough strength to move the weight, right, especially as you're going overhead, right, you want to have sufficient stability to keep those ribs down so we don't go into extension as we reach our arms up, right, or we're not also pulling the shoulder or pulling our bell up with our shoulders. So you will see this a lot, right, so rounding the shoulders, try to get it up, right, neck will pop forward. A lot of times you might see the losing stability all the way through, right, trying to heave that thing up. So take it back to a Russian swing, make sure that or drop the weight in those cases. So make sure, so still got an upper body movement. There is a little more burn on the shoulders, but that's just because you're carrying it for longer, right, not because you're actually moving the weight with your shoulders. So some common thoughts that we'll see is athletes going into that double knee bend. So they hike the bell back, right? They'll push you forward, and they'll end up going to one of those strongman lifts, trying to throw the bell over their head. Strongman lifts are great, but that's not what we're doing right now. So we want to make sure that you're actually using your hips to move the weight. And so even as the weight starts increasing in load, right, the mechanics stay the same. Big swing, going overhead, swing, overhead. Stay tight the whole way. And catch it with your hips, and done. Right, so in order to develop the power, right, we've got to always go back to your Russian swings. I think that's fundamental to increasing strength, increasing explosiveness from your hips, and that'll gradually, you'll be able to move more and more weight for your American swing. So American swing is a great tool. Maybe not for everybody. Everybody should be able to do it at some point, but make sure you master the Russian swing first.